Hi, I'm the Scrub and you're here for one reason. And so it all comes down to this. Right here and now we have the final battle for Eorzea. Win and we have the possibility of achieving peace. Lose and another calamity will loom on the horizon. Alisaie, I'm going to ask you to kindly not steal the limit break this time. I might need it later. Time to learn about the Ghimlyt Dark. Simplified. If you're using the duty support system, I'd recommend single pulling this dungeon. Head down the path and pull the 4 mobs. Continue down to the next area where 3 Magitech enemies will appear. Group everything up and nuke it all down. When everything has been defeated, the barrier will be blown away. Pull the 4 enemies to the next area. Turn right and head down the path where more enemies will spawn in. The gunship will target random party members with a point-blank AoE called Garlean Fire. Just move out of the AoE to avoid it. Kill everything and the barrier will be blown away, revealing the path to the first boss. Jarring Blow is a tank buster. The Colossus will give everyone a point-blank AoE. Just spread out and don't overlap these. It will then move to the middle of the arena and face a random direction while casting Magitech Slash. It will get a series of arrows spinning around it. This will indicate which way it will be rotating. It will slam its sword on the ground at a conal AoE and move in the direction of the arrows and perform more conal AoEs. The AoEs will linger for a short period of time and give you a 6-second burst debuff if you run through them. The easiest way to dodge this attack is to stand where the last AoE will be created right next to the first AoE and move into the first AoE just after the lingering AoE dissipates. Exhaust is the thick straight line AoE directed towards a random party member. If you get hit by this, it will be a harsh knockback. Cerulean Vent is the room-wide AoE. Magitech Slash will now happen back to back. The second Magitech Slash will rotate in the opposite direction to the first one. Dodge back and forth as best you can. It will then give one player a stack marker called Magitech Ray. Group up to share the damage. From here, the boss will repeat mechanics until it has been defeated. Head down the path and make your way through the wreckage, picking up the enemies along the way. As you make your way through the opening to the right, 3 more enemies will need to be picked up. The armored weapon will cast diffractive laser on random party members. Dodge out of it to avoid it. When everything has been defeated, the wreckage will be blown away and you can jump down to continue the dungeon. A group of mobs will be attacking Pippin and Lise. Pick these up and continue forward where a bunch more enemies will drop down. The Scorpion will cast Target Search and create a point-blank AoE below a random party member. Watch out for it if it spawns underneath you. When everything has been defeated, the Wall of Fire will extinguish and it's second boss time. Nitro Spin is a room-wide AoE. This will also create a Wall of Fire on the outside of the arena that will give you a burns debuff if you stand in it. Prometheus will cast Oil Shower. This is a 270-degree AoE with the only safe spot being in front of the boss. Quickly make your way to the safe zone to dodge the attack. Then Prometheus will become untargetable and dig underground. Somewhere on the wall on the outside of the arena will begin to glow from heat. You'll need to move perpendicular to this glowing spot as the boss will shoot a straight line AoE of fire through the middle of the arena. If you are caught in this AoE, it can easily kill you in 3 quick damage ticks as it hits quite hard, so it's important that you move to the side of the arena to dodge this. When this AoE finishes and disappears, Prometheus will return to the arena. Unbreakable Cement Drill is a tank buster. Needle Gun is the opposite of Oil Shower. This is a conal AoE in front of the boss, so you'll need to get to the sides or behind it to dodge the attack. Needle Gun is normally followed by Oil Shower, so you'll need to make sure that you are close to the Needle Gun AoE so you can quickly dodge the upcoming Oil Shower. Prometheus will cast Freezing Missile and dig underground again. There will be 4 proximity markers in a square-like pattern, so everyone will need to group up in the middle of the arena to minimize the damage from these markers. As you're getting in the middle, you'll need to locate the glowing part of the wall so when the proximity markers go off, you can quickly move to the side of the arena and get away from the straight line AoE. When Prometheus returns to the arena, it will repeat mechanics until it has been defeated. Exit out of the arena and head down to the next battlefield. A group of enemies will be attacking Carni Senna and Amaric. Pick up these mobs and head forward towards the next wall. 3 more enemies will parachute in. Kill everything. When everything has been defeated, a Colossus will jump into the area. It will cast Homing Laser and target Amaric and 1 party member. This player just needs to spread out and not overlap with Amaric. It will also cast Grand Strike, which is a narrow straight line AoE. When the Colossus has been defeated, an AoE will be created through the wall at the end of the path. A Hexadrone will burst through the wall. It will cast 2-ton Magitech Missile, which will target a random party member, and Circle of Death, which is a point-blank AoE around itself. Pull it down to the next area and drag everything together. As you start nuking it all down, another Colossus will jump into the area. This Colossus will cast Magitech Missile and create a proximity marker in the area. Just move away from the proximity marker to reduce the overall damage to you. It will also cast Exhaust, which is a thick straight line AoE. After the Colossus is defeated, another larger Colossus will spawn in. It will cast Unbreakable Cement Blade. Carni Senna will create a barrier dome that you'll need to get into because this move can easily one-shot you if you don't have decent gear. It will also cast Grand Sword, which is a wide conal AoE. Eventually, it will move to the middle of the arena and cast the move Self-Detonate. Although its health will be too great for you to burst down and destroy, Lise will end up using her own limit break and destroy it for you. Head up the final ramp and jump down into the arena for the final bosses. This is a 3-part final boss fight. Whichever of the sisters you attack first will remain in the arena. The other will become untargetable and do mechanics outside of the arena. For Annia's phase, Delta Trance is a tank buster. While this is going on, Julia will target 1 party member with crosshairs and cast Airsbane. This is an unavoidable single target attack on that person. Airsbane will continue to happen throughout Annia's phase. Annia will then cast Order to Bombard. Julia will create several X's in front of her on the outside of the arena. When the cast ends, everyone will get a narrow straight line AoE that will follow each player around. There will also be 3 circular AoEs AoEs that will slightly overlap. When you are hit with a straight line AoE, it will knock you back. All 4 players will need to spread out as best they can and position themselves slightly inside one of the AoEs to be knocked back into a safe zone, although this knockback can be nullified with knockback immunity. Just before the knockback happens, Annia will target a random party member with a straight line AoE called Angry Salamander. The knockback should help you avoid that AoE. Artificial Plasma is a room-wide AoE. Julia will then put 4 X's in a row around the arena, which will eventually create straight line AoEs through the center of the arena. There are plenty of safe spots for this mechanic, especially the larger ones on the side, so avoid these AoEs as best you can. Stunning Sweep is a point-blank AoE around Annia. Just break away from her to avoid being hit by it. From here, Annia's mechanics will repeat until you get her below 0.1% health. For Julia's phase, she'll start off with Artificial Plasma, which is a room-wide AoE. Innocence is a tank buster. While this is going on, Annia will target one random party member with a straight line AoE of Angry Salamander. Just dodge out of the AoE to avoid it. Julia will cast Commence Airstrike. This will summon several ceruleum tanks in a pattern around the arena. Julia will target one of them with Air's Bane and push it to the edge of the arena. This will cause this one to explode, which will set off a chain reaction of AoEs from all of the tanks. You just need to avoid the tanks as best you can as they explode. Annia will push all of the tanks in the middle out to the sides, so the easy to reach safe spot will be through the middle. Be careful because when she pushes the tanks out, she will also knock back all players in melee range as well. While all of this is going on, Annia will throw out another Angry Salamander straight line AoE, so you'll need to be dodging that as well while avoiding all of the AoEs. Julia will move into the middle of the room and cast 4 X's around her and begin casting the Order. This will create straight line AoEs from Julia's position. At the same time as this, point blank AoEs will appear underneath all party members from Annia with her cast of Order to Fire. Dodge out of all of these as best you can. The easiest way to combat this mechanic is to stack up so all of the point blank AoEs are on the same point to maximize the safe zone. Mechanics will repeat until you get Julia down to 0.1% health. After you complete the first Sisters phase, the Sisters will perform Crosshatch. They will bounce around the arena in a pattern that will be indicated by a faint line on the floor of the arena. The easiest way to dodge this is to stand between where they will bounce off the walls. When Crosshatch finishes, the Sisters will swap positions. When you complete the second Sisters phase, the same Crosshatch mechanic from before will repeat, but this time you'll have point blank AoEs on every player, so you need to spread out as best you can. After the second Crosshatch has ended, both of them will reappear, give themselves artificial boost, which will give them an extra 20% health, and begin casting Imperial Authority. This is their Enrage cast. If this completes, it will instantly wipe the group and you'll have to start again. I recommend if you have ranged or magic DPS in the party to use the limit break now to hit both of the Sisters at the same time and take away a significant portion of their remaining health. Just defeat both of the Sisters to complete the dungeon. Congratulations, you have beaten the Ghimlyt Dark. My name is The Scrub. Thank you for watching.